dress.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
Hello, everyone. We just got back from our, 1 day or what was it, 2 day, a day and a half. We went to Assateague State Park
In Maryland.
Fantastic time together. It was great. But
Yep.
we got an episode for you guys. What is it?
So today we decided to talk about
The hell is that?
roles in relationships. And not just a husband and wife type situation, but in all relationships, whether it's friends and family, co-workers, whatever the case may be. So this particular topic is going to be about... Are you making faces about me? This particular topic is about knowing your role, because Ron says that I allow other people to dictate, how do I want to say that? Well, basically, Ron says that I put other people before him. And I must admit...
That's how I feel anyway.
Yes. And I must admit that Ron never makes me feel that way. He does put me first, and as it should be. I'm his wife. He's my husband. He should be first. I should be first, because that's how God intended the relationship to be. And everybody else falls in line after. It's God, your spouse, and then your family. And
Children.
Oh, yeah. Those little people. If we had little people, they would be in there before our extended family. So we wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I notice a lot. I have 3 brothers, and I notice a lot that Ron feels like I put them before him, and I also put my niece and nephews before him, but that's not always the case. But that's how he feels, so I'm not going to say that he's wrong. That's how he feels. Those are his feelings. They're not right or wrong. But I don't feel like I do that from my side of it. But I am getting better at acknowledging that and acknowledging his feelings and putting him first. Because a lot of times, like even my family, they'll think they should be first. Like my brothers will say, I'm her brother. And he's like, so I'm her husband. And there shouldn't even be that battle. They should know their role. And we grew up with, a solid foundation. My parents are still together, 45 years now. And we grew up. We're each other's best friends. You and your brothers are all you have. You're each other's best friends. You're all you have. So when you're drilled that your whole life, you have built-in best friends. And my brothers, at different stages of my life, each one of them has been a best friend to me, more than just a brother, but a best friend. So it's hard when you do have a husband coming in, and now you have to consider this other person, when before everybody was secondary to your brothers. So now I have this beautiful person here that has to come before everyone else. And I'm learning. We've been together 20 years, but I'm still learning, and some lessons are hard to break. Some habits are hard to break, rather, and sometimes it's hard to learn new lessons. But I have gotten better, and you have to admit that I've gotten better at putting you first and considering your feelings.
Yeah.
Even with going to events, someone will invite us somewhere. I used to say, yeah, we'll be there. And Ron said, the next time you RSVP for both of us and not consult me first, I'm not going. I don't care whose event it is. I don't care if it's your parents or whoever. If you RSVP without consulting me first, I'm not going.
Yeah, because it's all about consideration
And respect, and I agree with that.
I'm not concerned about where it is or what it is or whom it is. I am concerned about the consideration, because it may not be something I really don't want to go to. You know what I mean? I don't want to go to every event. There's some things I just don't want to do. There's things I do, and for the consideration of the other people as well. If they want me there, I'll go. I'm not saying I'm important and I need to be there or they want me there. I'm just saying there's some things I want to do and some things I don't want to do. Mm-hmm. It's just bottom line. There's no more to it. You know what I mean? There's nothing against anyone. There's none of that. It's just some things, this and that. You pick and choose what you want to do.
I look at it this way. I kind of know the things that we want to do, especially if it's family related. We want to try to attend all of those events because in the past we didn't. We don't attend a lot of events, and it causes a lot of hard feelings, and people think, oh, you're not going because Dawn doesn't want to go, or you're not going because Ron doesn't want to go. Like we don't have our own minds or anything. Like we can decide that we don't want to do something, and if I don't want to do something, that doesn't necessarily mean Ron won't go, and vice versa. But I usually say yes because I'm like, okay, we said that we're going to try to attend more family events and more friend events and stop saying no so much.
True.
So if I look at the calendar and I see we're available, I just say, sure, we'll be there. So I have to stop being so quick with that and just say, hey, so-and-so's having an event. We should go. And he'll most likely say yes, but he just wants that courtesy and that respect that I would bring it to his attention first.
That's true, and people do have to know their roles because their family, they were taught family is first, and that's not always the case. She has some siblings that believe that that's not right.
They still believe that they should be before Ron.
But one has been married, and now he understands.
Yes.
He didn't understand when it was just me and her married, and none of them are married. Now he is married, and now he understands what it means for your wife or your husband to be first, because he couldn't get it, he couldn't understand it, and now that he's been married for a year, now he understands what I've been saying for the last 6 or 7 years.
I tried the last 16 years.
Now he get it. Now he understands it, and now he's been seeing what I've been saying. Some people, it takes a long time to figure out what other people have been saying. I'm not saying I'm the smartest, but I do know what needs to be done when you are a couple. Whether you're not going to always mesh, and you're not always going to agree, but when it comes to a marriage couple, I know what a union means. And union means husband and wife and children, household bound.
Yes.
That I know.
And
I may not know life stories. I may not know about the rest of this world, or maybe even the smartest person in the world, because I'm nowhere near that. But when it comes to marriage, I know about that.
And we are now our own family. We have family, but Ron and I are a family of our own. So this family now has to come first. And we're not abandoning the rest of our family. We just have our own lives. We're not kids. We're not in high school anymore. We don't need to call our friends and family every week. We don't need to check in and talk all the time. But, we will try to be there for the important things as much as we can.
And being lazy doesn't work for nobody, because when you're neglecting someone, no matter who it is, if you're neglecting someone in your family, they feel as though they lost that person. Like I feel like I lost my aunt or my uncle or my mother or my father, because the neglection is there on both parties, not on one side it can be on my side or their side. The key is not to be lazy when it comes to family and friends, and I'm hugely a problem with that, because I am lazy and I do not reach out, and that's my fault, and I'm going to get better at that. And in perspective, you have to not be lazy, and you got to reach out, whether it's text or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, phone call. You got to do something to make people feel like you still care about them, especially if you've known them for a while. And I don't do that, and I'm going to get better at that, and that comes into play of making people feel like they're special in your life.
I think part of that has come about because we're very into ourselves, like our own life.
I'm just lazy.
And also I'm just lazy. It's definitely laziness. Like a lot of the things we have to do, they involve driving to another state.
That's the name of the title.
Which we don't want to do. That you're just lazy?
I'm just lazy.
And we are in our own little bubble a lot of the times, and we're not intentionally trying to hurt anybody by not being involved. We're just in our own little lives here, and we don't feel like driving to another state all the time.
Or talking to people all the time.
We don't get a lot of people who come to visit us here.
Doing that.
And
we're getting off topic now.
And it's not like
I feel like we do that a lot.
That's how conversations go. We'll cut it real quick. It's not like we are saying, oh, we're not going to come visit you because you don't come visit us type of thing. It's just that we don't feel like driving all the time. So we will get better at that. And
It's supposed to be about
the roles.
Roles.
Well, how did this happen?
It does it every single time. We can't stay on topic.
Well, back to the roles thing. We're gonna roll it back around. Basically, we're just gonna say that, you know, we love our family and our friends, and it's just all about, everything boils down to respecting each other, respecting your roles in another person's life, and, you know, having clear boundaries, because the boundaries aren't always there, and I think that they're necessary. You know, Ron and I have boundaries within our relationship. We know things that are expected of each other, of one another, and what is inappropriate, and I think it's important for our friends and family to know that as well. And, you know, just have to expect to be put in your place if you cross those boundaries, and we're going to let you know. I know Ron does a very good job at letting people know. I let a lot of stuff go for a long time before I get to the point where I say something, and then it doesn't always come out right. But Ron is really good at stopping people in their tracks when they've crossed the lines, and he's teaching me, and I'm getting better at it.
Yeah,
So I guess we'll close this out here.
Yeah. And I got to stop being lazy. I'm pretty sure I'll do better with that. And I also got to take consideration of people's feelings. I'm not really good with other people's feelings. So I got to do much better with that. That's family, friends, close to me personally, that know me. I got to be better with other people's feelings, because I know it's not cool to be brushing people off, because I can brush somebody off.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that in.
We're outside.
Well, they can clearly see that. You don't have to tell them that.
I'm afraid of bugs. And there are bugs flying around and stuff. What?
Deer. Right
Oh,
there.
deer. I was
We're
afraid.
not going to show you all that, though.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm definitely going to do better with that, because I'm definitely not really not that good when it comes to people's feelings, and I'm definitely got to do better with that. But people just got to know their role, including myself. You know, I got to know my role, because sometimes I go outside that box as well.
Yeah, don't hit it.
Sometimes I just don't do well with that, but we got to do better with playing each other's role, whether people like it or not. Everyone plays a role. Children,
Yes.
man, woman, animals, your pets. Everybody plays a role.
Mm-hmm.
And when people say, or when they hear you got to play a role, some people get offensive.
Yes, I remember one time you said to me,
got to play a role.
and I was so heated.
Yeah.
You said to me, this was before we were married. We were in the car, we were going to a birthday party.
Yeah.
And I was driving, and you were in the passenger seat, and you were talking to a gentleman about something. And I butted in. And you were like, don't be quiet. Stay in your lane. I was like, what the heck?
I mean, that was rude to say it that way.
Yes.
But everybody do have their own role.
You're right.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
I was like, I was so mad at you for like an hour after that. And then you eventually apologized for the way you said it, but I was just like,
everybody has a role.
and after I let my ego down a little bit and had a minute to process it, you were right. I should have kept my mouth shut. But still, the way you said it was like, are you kidding?
Just like every time you get in a little spit with a sibling or your mother, I don't always compliment. I don't always say something.
Comment, yeah.
I can't make a comment all the time. I can't always be a part of whatever you're doing with your family.
And I never comment when you have things with your family,
Yeah,
because that's between you and your family. Unless it's directly affecting our bubble, then I stay out of it.
Exactly, and that's what you're supposed to do. Unless that person bring you into that, like, look,
Right.
I need some help.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think you need to keep that.
I agree.
Keep that over there, and it comes with friends too. Your female friends, it's over there. You know, my female friends and male friends over here.
Yep.
Same with you. It's the same thing. Everybody got their little thing. That's why when you're married, you got to be able to, rely on each other. And if you can't figure something out, that's why you got another helper. I'm your helper. You my helper.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
All right.
So that's it for this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and
Let's hear your thoughts on the subject. What do you think about playing your roles and how you fit into your relationships?
peace.